And that is really one of the first lesson. I think we can go on to the second lesson.
And I think the second lesson is a connect. I just wanted to give you a little correction on what you were saying.
Sorry.
We opened up that kollel and that food pantry in Bet Shemesh in his memory. It's called Mishkan Shaul. It's a beautiful group of rabbis that are learning every evening, and we provide food, we provide clothing for people that need it, and the welcome that I get from the community in helping us and making donations towards that and keeping people in Bet Shemesh, the Sfaradim over there, well-fed and healthy, and also keeping Torah alive is fantastic.
I think that just shows how much, to do all that kind of work and keep a kollel running and keep all those things running in Bet Shemesh, I think just shows how much power Mr. Charlie-Serouya had to be able to pass that on to his children, and Yishakach, you should be blessed because of that, and keeping the Torah alive in Bet Shemesh, especially for the Sephardi community, because the Sephardi community is a very strong community. There's a lot of achdus in the Sephardi community, and I think that they need moistus, but they need more and more moistus as they grow. Let's go on to the second.
So now, I think the second one is definitely a carryover into that, and that is, don't be shy to tell your family, I love you.
Wow.
Every phone call that I make to my father, to my brother, to my sisters, and when my mother was alive, to my mother, always had in it, I love you. It starts with I love you, it ends with I love you, and every encounter with my children, when you come home, when you go to bed, always with I love you.
I just wanted to say something that actually I heard today from my rabbi in England, Reb Shimon Weingarten. Basically, he said to me, it's exactly what you've just said, but he added a bit to it. And he said, parents today are just not spending enough time with their children. They're not spending enough time with their children in a relationship. Meaning, they're not sitting down with their children at the table. They're not telling them that they love them. They're not telling them, putting their arm around them and saying, how was your day? He even went as far as to say, each night you sit with your children around the table and make a cheshbon nefesh. What did we achieve today? What are we going to do tomorrow that's going to be better than today? And I think that, as Dr. Doueck just said, that, just to say even I love you, never mind having a relationship, just to say even I love you, then that's very, very important. And right now, just before we carry on, we're going to take a call. Somebody wants to say something about Mr. Serouya. Hi, you're on the air. Hello? Nope, it's gone. Okay. Hopefully he'll call back. Okay. So I think let's go to the third point.
So the third point is something that I lived with through all the years that I knew my father-in-law, Charlie-Serouya, and that was that words are powerful. In fact, many of you are familiar with the book called Positive Word Power. Well, my father-in-law could have written that book. Charlie-Serouya lived by positive words. He lived by words of encouragement. He lived by superlatives. You are terrific. You are wonderful. You are my heart. If he saw something beautiful in nature, he would just smile. Yishtabach Shemo. This is gorgeous. If you would sing a song, I'm a Kohen, I go up for Kohanim, I come down from Kohanim, my father-in-law tells me, that was a beautiful Kohanim. But any opportunity that he had, he would use his words, his powerful words, to encourage people. He would use powerful words to paint pictures and to create feelings in people. So words are powerful, positive word power is powerful, and these were the things that my father-in-law, Charlie-Serouya, lived by.
I'd like to add to that there's a story. A story was in Papua New Guinea. There was a tribe in Papua New Guinea, and there was also a family in New York. And what had happened was there was a child from each place who had done something wrong. They'd stolen something, let's say. And in New York, the father and the mother went crazy with this kid, and they were shouting him, you're a no good, you're a low life. What did you do it for? You're putting our family to shame. How dare you? And in Papua New Guinea, the tribe people all went round in a circle, and they put the boy in the middle, and they all said to him, "You're a good boy. You've got this attribute. You got this character, good character." And they all spoke positively to him. And which kid do you think worked out the best? Positive word power is very important for our children today. We have to tell them, "You did good." Not all the time telling them off. We have to tell them, "Wow, you did an amazing on your test. You got 70, you got 90, whatever you got, it was amazing. You did your best. You tried your effort." I think that we have to always also think about saying good morning to people, saying positive things to people, not always looking at them and going, or walking right past them. This positive word power is an amazing positive tool that we can use to reach out to other people. We don't have to be the kind of people who donate loads of money. We don't have to be the kind of people who donate loads of time. We can do small things as well. Everybody to their level. And even if your level is just one thing, to be nice to somebody else, that's amazing. Do we have that call now? We have a call. Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, I have to say about his grandson David. He's a very good boy. He follows his grandfather's ways.
Thank you very much. And what would you say, what kind of way would you say that he follows his grandfather?
In his chesed.
In his chesed. And what kind of chesadim does he do? Hello? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Okay, well, look, he does chesed, and that's very, very important. And thank you for that. Thank you for that call. Okay, let's go on to the fourth point.
So the fourth principle is look for opportunities. Now, this was something that my father-in-law, he had his antennas out at all times. He was always looking for opportunities. But what type of opportunities? First of all, you mentioned before about smiling. He would look for an opportunity to smile at everyone. And if someone didn't return that smile with a smile, he would make it a point to get them to smile the next day or the same day or just keep going after them in his gentle way to get them to smile. Or look for opportunities to encourage people. A newcomer to the shul says, you see, this is the first time he's in the shul, like when you went to the shul. He would shower them with praise for their efforts, for coming, for showing up. For whatever they did, he made sure to make them feel welcome. Look for opportunities to appreciate. Everything that you did was a reason to appreciate, to say thank you. Everything that he did, thank you with all my heart. Let them know how much you enjoyed whatever it is. If we were at Selichot, anybody would take a solo, that will forget about it. My father would go over, gorgeous, oh, fabulous. Opportunities. Look for opportunities in life. He would tell somebody, when you walked in the room, you light up the room. This guy just came into shul. He just came in to start to pray. My father-in-law, Charlie-Serouya, looked for opportunities to appreciate people, to encourage people. Look for opportunities to give a beracha. And instead of saying good night, he would say, Betov talinu, berachamim takitzu. You should have a good sleep and wake up with Hashem's mercy. If you're a sandak and you're giving berachot, what kind of berachot are you giving? Look for opportunities. Give that long beracha. Take your time. Do it from your heart. When you bump into somebody, you see this person, you see him once in a week. That time that you see him, give him a beracha. Wish him for a successful week. Parnasa tova, beriut, kol mishalut lebecha letova. Those berachot, those opportunities, that's what Charlie-Serouya was looking for at all times. He was looking for opportunities to smile, to encourage, to appreciate, to give berachot, to remember Hashem. When he would put the key in his store, at the time he used to have a store in Manhattan. He had a wholesale business and there was a store that he had where he sold chandeliers and different products. When he would put his key in the door to unlock the store every day, without fail, he would say, B'Shem Hashem na'aseh v'natzliach. In the name of Hashem, we will do and be successful. Remembering Hashem at every possible turn. Those were the opportunities that Charlie-Serouya looked for.
I think if I was to summarize what you've just said and try and make it into a lesson for other people, apart from what you've said already, I think I would say that he made people feel special. I think that's really one of the crunches of what you said. He made people feel special. That's something very important. There's a lot of people out there, as I said before, who feel very alone. They feel like nobody cares for them. and nice things to people and including people again. He made people feel special, but I think also, which was very important, was he thanked Hashem for everything. He saw where everything came from. And also when he's thanking Hashem, the emistic, the truth of his bracha that he made, it was made with meaning. Meaning every word that he said was said to Hashem because he meant it. Baruch atah Hashem. Hashem, you are the source of all blessing. And I really appreciate that, and I really feel it. And that is really what the important lesson to take from this is, that we have to remember where everything comes from. We can't think it comes down from Macy's. Yeah, it comes from Hashem. It doesn't come from a tree, that's for sure. Yeah, it comes from Hashem. And I think if we were to look at what I've also read and now just heard about Mr. Charlie-Serouya, he really, really internalized that everything came from Hashem. And nothing is taken for granted. Okay, let's go on to number 5.
Okay, so again, if you have any stories about Charlie-Serouya, you want to give a call, 718-683-5858. We'll take your call, 718-683-5858. Number 5 is never give up. Not on yourself and not on others.
Wow, that's a very powerful statement. That's a very powerful statement.
You know, when Charlie-Serouya first came to this country, his uncles told him, it's impossible to keep Shabbat in this country. It's not possible. You're going to have to get a job. You're going to have to feed your family. You're going to have to work on Shabbat. And he would never give up on his Shabbat, never give up on his Torah. And he refused to listen. And he found himself a job, and he was able to work. And he was able to keep Shabbat. When he was in the army, he was in Alabama. It was the 1940s. There's no place to have a sukkah for Sukkot. He made it happen. He built it on a runway. It blew down when the planes went flying by. He rebuilt it. When he lived on the top of a store on 20th Avenue, how's he going to have sukkah? He built it on the roof. He went up to the roof. Or he built it on his fire escape. When he built a youth minyan from the 1940s to 1964 in Bensonhurst, and when he was forced to leave, he was not discouraged. He didn't let it pull him down. He was ready to start all over again in Flatbush, in Sharet Zion, and that's what he did. He was somebody who never gave up.
Dr. Doueck, all the lines are flashing. Let's take a call now. Let's take a call. Hi, you're on the air. Hello? Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Baruch Hashem, and you?
Baruch Hashem, it's Avi Devor.
Avi?
Devor.
Hi, how you doing, Avi?
Baruch Hashem. First of all, I just wanted to say how amazing it was to be able to start the show last night and to be a part of this wonderful radio hidabroot programming, and to be able to say that I am a part of what people like yourself and the doctor are trying to accomplish within the community.
Thank you.
You know anything about my father-in-law?
What did you say? I'm sorry?
Avi, you know anything about my father-in-law?
I do not know anything about your father-in-law, but I do want to make a comment on something you had said just earlier about how important it was and how he made sure to always talk to the children and to spend the time talking, and the families needed to communicate and to always end everything with "I love you." I remember, this ties in so much to what we were talking about last night. I remember once how, when I had spoken to one of my son's menahalim in his yeshiva, and he had made a comment to me, "Wow, your son tells you everything," because we were talking about something that had come up, and I was like shocked, and I said to him back, I didn't really know there was any other way. And the only way you'll ever get your children to communicate to you and to feel comfortable with you in this type of manner is if you do always have these kind of conversations and that kind of relationship.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that, it's so funny. Just a personal anecdote. I walked into my daughter's school this morning, and one of the administrators there said to me, "Gosh, you know all the teachers. How do you know all the teachers?" So I said, "Because I communicate with them. I need to know how my kids are doing." So that's very important. It's a very important thing to know everything about your child's life, because you are there. The child is given to you as a present from Ribbono Shel Olam, and you have to be as positive as you can for that person. Avi, listen.
I did want to make one comment regarding the midah that the doctor had mentioned about his father.
Okay.